is on the marriage foundation, building a love that strengthens the family. And before we begin, I'd really like us to reflect on this one question. What kind of marriage are our children watching? Can we think about it? Let's assume that our families, our movies, and our children will have to tell the story much later in future. What kind of marriage are our children watching? Because whether we realize it or not, children may not remember every instruction we give them. They may not remember the atmosphere we created, but most importantly, they would remember, how they felt, how they saw the father treat the mom, or how the mom respected the father. So a healthy marriage is one of the greatest gifts our parents, or we as parents, can give the children. And tonight is just a profound moment to have us journey through on this conversation. We are honored to have our speaker, who is a pharmacist, a marriage enrichment facilitator, and a passionate advocate for strong families. With over 2 decades of marriage and parenting experience, he has devoted himself to helping couples build healthier relationships, stronger marriages, and happier homes. Through his family life and marriage development programs, he has inspired countless couples to rediscover purpose, strengthen communication, and nurture lasting love. His passion is simple: helping marriages become safe places where families can flourish. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Dr. Emmanuel Afunwa as he leads us in the next 40 minutes on this interesting conversation. Over to you, sir. Please remember to send the link to someone, your friend, your family, your spouse. You need to join today's conversation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Meg, for
Sir, we
the.
can't hear you. Try to unmute.
Thank you very much. Hello, thank you very much, Meg, for the introduction. Good evening, dear parents, and welcome to the 30th edition of the Parents Force series, where we try to build stronger families and empower parents to commit more to their primary function of raising children that will become good products for society. And today, just as Meg has rightly introduced, I'll be taking us through the foundation that we need to do this role, to play out this role properly. Go. Okay, let's go. As the question was put to us, I'm sure that every one of us want our children in 25 years' time, 30 years' time, to remember something deep that we laid down as legacy. And that is what we'll be discussing over the next 40 minutes. And uh, it will be quite interactive, such that in the next 1 hour, we'll be going away, with clear take-home messages, and which we can use to enrich our marriages and produce better outcomes for our children. Okay. Now, the couples are the foundation of every marriage. We know that society is experiencing lots of problems, and the foundation is where we need to begin from. And of course, everybody agrees that the marriage, the home, the couple are the foundation of every family. And as families are the units of society, then if we intend to raise better communities or better societies, we need to start with the foundation, which is the marriage, the couple themselves. And this begins by them trying to build a love, a bond that strengthens and that can leave a legacy for the future generation. Okay, the big question is, in 25 years' time, what legacy do you wish to leave your children? Meg actually asked the question, if your children were to tell a story and watch your marriage as or tell your marriage as a story, what story would they tell? Oftentimes, when people are leaving this world and they are asked some questions, they want to uh, conclude that they wish they could have done more. In such cases, the big question usually is, what legacy am I leaving? And in such cases, usually, wealth does not matter, education rarely matters, the properties rarely matter, the status rarely matter. What matters then is, what will my children remember me for? Oftentimes, the marriage, the upbringing, the love between mommy and daddy is usually what they will remember forever. I don't think most times I remember the crown, but of the car of my dad. But usually, oftentimes I smile on a daily basis when I remember how daddy will always apologize or what he says to mommy, and it's amusing that it's always coming to mind. And at times, I want to model my family after what I've learned from the home front. And I think the same thing applies to most of us. Okay, so many of us are professionals. We lead various organizations. We are the doctors. We are directors of hospitals. We lead ministries, parastatals, and agencies. Or maybe we are academics who are leading departments or faculties, administrative units in the university. But uh, keep in mind that the most important institution that we will ever lead is our family. That is our primary vocation. That is our primary calling. And the question is, how are we leading the families? It boils down to the relationship between daddy and mommy. And that is what matters most. Not the organizations, not the institutions, and not the parastatals that we lead. What are we doing on the home front? How are we living our marital life? And in fact, some organizations, uh, they accord us with much respect that they see that we have lived on the home front. I mean, there are some organizations we cannot lead if we are not people who are leading a home. Some organizations take that as a criteria for being at the helm of affairs in them. Okay. Now, the foundation, as we have mentioned earlier, is the couple themselves. Of course, the levels ranging from uh, the foundation, which is the couples themselves, to what mission they are out to carry out, which is parenting. We are here because we want to be better at parenting. And the future, the children, the outcome, the products are the children. But when the foundation is weak, we all agree that the entire structure is weak. And that is why there's a need for us to really, really work on the foundation, which is the couple themselves. Okay? Well, now, as as the couples, we have various roles we play. Of course, there's no doubt the major functions we play the roles of management, which planning. Of course, one of the key things we do is planning the home. Of course, what is the budget for the month? What is the budget for the year? I mean, what is the budget for the quarter? We organize things. Okay, on Monday, 7 a.m. What is our plan? What is our plan for 7:30? What is our okay? We plan the days like that, and of course, the children are watching us because we are the leaders of the family. The mommy and the daddy are working cohesively in the leadership team that is running the family. Then, of course, we constantly review. Of course, we know these are the basic functions of management, where the controls are there From time to time, we review. No, no television because it has really affected the outcomes of the children's results. And okay, even we are not having enough quality time because there's always review. And I mean, from time to time, it's good for us also to review the quality of our marriage. How is it progressing? And this is one thing that we cannot shy away from. And the core question is, how often do we review our marriages? How often do we review our marriages? Okay? Now, in doing all this, in the reviews, the planning, the children are observing and they learn more by observation than by instruction. It is often said that more is caught than taught. They will observe what is the tone of voice with which mommy is talking to daddy in the course of planning, in the course of reviewing, in the course of uh, leading. What who is showing respect, uh, courtesy, how are we resolving conflicts? I can tell you for free what one has learned on the home front, and of course how one is applying it. When you are wrong, be the first to say sorry. Even when you are right at times, be the first to say sorry. It makes everything go well. Uh, Spirit of forgiveness. I mean, okay, yes, no problem. I agree. I'm sorry. Who is ready to say sorry first? Of course, the stronger person should be ready to say the sorry first. And then affection, affection, showing love, and then sacrifice, and the commitment. These are things that I'm sure none of us as parents here will sit our child and give a 1 hour lecture of resolution of conflicts on the home front, or okay, how to live affection. No, but how daddy shows it to mommy, or how I show it to my spouse is the way, I mean, the children catches it. It bumps into their eyeballs, and they catch it, I mean, and go on ahead. And before you know, everybody is living this spirit because mommy and daddy are already living them out very well. Okay. Well, I'm a pharmacist. I was described as one, and I sell medicines anyway. And well, in pharmacy, you do not go too far without seeing live lessons on behavioral uh, outcomes of people. The man has his medicines, the madam has her medicines, she has a chronic disease like hypertension. She knows the medicines work. She owns the medicines. I mean, but the problem is she does not take the medicine, and the results are complications. And so we can see that knowledge is not enough. From what I've just discussed about over the past 10 minutes, we all have the knowledge of all these things. But where's the gap? The gap is taking action, okay? Which is very, very key, because if we do not take action concretely, intentionally, the we might not be getting results. I mean, there's nothing we'll be discussing this evening that many of us do not know. But the gap is putting them into action, okay? Which is what this interaction tends to stimulate. The transformational framework that I wish to share with us is just that the distance between knowledge, which informs, and the intellect, which makes us understand, we understand, is very far from the legacy which we intend to leave behind for our children. Of course, we have the knowledge, we might have read books, we might have attended a lot of seminars, a lot of webinars, you know, we might understand the lectures, of course, intellectually sound in all these things. And we may have the will, to decide that, okay, I want to change, but the action, practicing, is what really brings about the change. The skills, of course, many of us are drivers. When you drive now, it just comes around, I mean, it just comes about naturally, as if you never learned how to drive. Yes, because you have been doing it over time. And the habits lead to that character, strengthens the character. Well, once it becomes an habit, I mean, the next thing is, okay, it's part and parcel of you, and that is when you can hand it over to the others, because naturally others just see it. When a man, I mean, in behavioral science, when a man says you are like this, it's not that you just did one act. It's because you have been doing it over time, and the guy, you are just like this is the way you are, or you call your name and okay, this is the way he is, because you have moved from knowledge to understanding, to deciding to change, then of course to put them into action, then of course this action become natural skills for you, and of course uh, this is when it becomes habit, then of course you can naturally pass them along. And this is what occurs on the home front also. As mommy and daddy, we need constant, you know constant living out of these practices on a daily basis, putting them to practice intentionally. And of course, with time, it becomes part of the family values that we can now hand over to the children. Okay? Aristotle, father of behavioral science, was actually right when he asserted that excellence is not an act but a habit. And these habits come in small actions of uh, practicing things like forgiveness, you know, gratitude, acts of service. With time they become habits, with time they become character, with time they become a family culture, and then with time they become the legacy which we pass across to. And this is what many of us gain from the home front. I mean, there was never a time we were sat down to be schooled in some of these habits, but over time they become family cultures and were handed over. And of course, strong societies are built from this. So mummies and daddies, keep at it. This is what builds a strong society. This daily action of, okay, we're intentional, I want to forgive, okay, because I know that the future generation needs this action. So it is not a one-off act, it is a continuous thing that becomes a culture over time. Okay? So how do parents model love? Uh, a lot of us are professionals. You know, we do some basic research. Okay, the base part of it will just be observational research. But when you talk about modeling, it is something that is trying to build something bigger and that can last a period of time. How do parents model love, which can last a period of time? Is the way they show respect to each other. Simple. The way they resolve conflicts, you know. Okay, I I bite my tongue because I know that the children are learning something. They support each other. Okay, mommy is not coming home early today because she has an assignment in the office. Okay, so daddy is uh, holding forth for mommy and prepares the dinner for the children, or is asking the children to come around in the kitchen and they all gather together and prepare dinner and include that of mommy. eh. And mommy also does the same thing when she knows that daddy will not be available to, you know. Then speaking well of each other in front of the children, this is very, very important. Not running not running our spouses down in the presence of the children, or trying to be the better person before the children. No, and to serve this life of service, that what children normally watch. And oftentimes, one we are learning a lot from toddlers these days. I mean, there are lots of videos that one sees online these days, and questions are being asked of toddlers how they see mommy and daddy. And you can already see 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds modeling the way daddy behaves, modeling the way mommy behaves. At 2, 3 years old, they already seen how daddy treats mommy and how mommy treats daddy. And dear friends, the greatest gift parents can give their children is a loving marriage, which the children can see, which the children can catch, and not just, spoken about. Okay? So, well, uh, we may be African men, as we say in this part of the world, but it's a global culture that we serenade our spouse because everybody wants affection. Everybody needs affection. Everybody loves to be shown love. And examples are showing gratitude, when we are served, trying to form partnership on the home front. We are partners with our spouses. We are not adversaries. There's no competition. We are partners. So we are in this all together, and try to teach the children that it's a partnership between myself and my spouse. The public praises for my spouse is very, very important. You know, uh, how do I carry my spouse? Because it is the way I carry my spouse that others also will carry my spouse. Then I show you an appreciation to my spouse. Very, very important. Then intimacy. I mean, it's amazing when you hear at times spouses mention that we have been in marriage for 10 years and intimacy is gone. We are just there and fulfilling all righteousness. It's amazing for parents to mention that in gatherings among their colleagues or among couples. So are we still talking about love in our marriage? No, no, we are just here to parent the children. I mean, at times you hear such very funny statements among couples. Intimacy is key. And it's what keeps the love alive. What keeps the love alive. Okay. And let's watch out for the silent killers of modern marriage. You know, the the phone in the homes. We mentioned that one of our functions will be reviewing. When we review, let there be controls in the way we handle phones. It's an enemy within. So parents should be very, very careful with the use of phones. I know some families where at 8 p.m. in the evening, everybody put your phones away. Please, we have family time so that daddy and mommy can have time together and with the children. And after 10, every other person maybe retires to bed and daddy and mommy have time to themselves. Then business. Well, we are running around trying to fulfill the demands of career, professional life, and at times we don't have time for our spouses. It's a danger. It's a red flag. The financial pressure. Well, there's no doubt that globally the financial strain is there. There are strains on the global economy, not only in Nigeria. But well, with proper planning in the family, families can get ahead, couples can get ahead and navigate around, economic pressures. The neglect, just as I mentioned earlier, the issue of intimacy. Well, we might say that love is not only what builds uh, relationships. Money is important, intimacy is important, but a danger is neglect of my spouse. The emotional needs of my spouse has to be taken into consideration, and then ego trip, where you know I'm the one that is bringing everything, so I dictate everything. It is not true. You are equals in the marriage. Please, you are equals in the marriage. Everybody contributes 50-50. In fact, you that has the danger of the ego trip, know that you should even contribute 70%. You know, so that then lack of quality time. We should check that also. Quality time between daddy and mommy, and this doesn't need to be too highfalutin on a daily basis. 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, as our time demands, as the time permits, to just ensure that we have the quality time, and often, and this should be very often, not measured. On the days that we can cut more time, let's have a lot of time with our spouses, so that we get to know ourselves better, get to serenade ourselves better. I'm sure we unwind and we get to love ourselves. I mean, and intimacy grows. Then popular media also is a problem, and the mainstream media. Oftentimes, they set some standards that are rather utopian and not real. It is not the popular or mainstream media or social media that should determine the quality of my marriage. Myself and my spouse, will have to work together in order for us to work out something that is really of value and culture of our family, and not the social media. Many couples share a house, but uh, funnily, no longer share their hearts. We need to begin again, at every particular point in time, in this uh, battle of fighting against, me, myself, I, and reconnecting to we, the family, the future. Okay? Okay? Okay. So now the legacy question, dear friends, will be 25 years from now. What do we wish to remember, or what do we wish to hand over to our children? And what do we wish our children remember us for? Oftentimes, the salaries we earn today will not be remembered by our children. I can assure you that. I don't even know my dad's salary. He worked in Nikon for many years. I don't know the positions he had. I know he drove a Crown KDK, and he drove uh, the 5042. I know he had an office at Broad Street in Lagos, but I remember vividly the way he treated my mom all the time. And I remember vividly the way my mom always treated my dad. In fact, I can replay them every moment of my life. But I don't think I can remember what my salary and what my dad earned as his salary, or what titles he earned then, you know, except the one he had at retirement anyway. That was 1992. But I can remember the moments we lived at home and how they treated themselves. Okay, well, uh, a very simple reflection this evening would be, I'm happy. This is the 30th edition of the Parents First series. Fantastic. This is June and it's the World Cup year with plenty of reviews. Uh, the World Cup reviews are ongoing on a daily basis. This is June, is the mid-year and the end of the second quarter of the year. So there are so many reviews. Mid-year review, mid-year appraisals, second quarter appraisals, World Cup reviews. Please, dear mummies and daddies, at home, when was our last marriage review meeting? It's surprising that we review sports, we review budgets, we review businesses, we review our departments, our performances, all our projects. But the simple question I'll ask again is, when last did we review our marriages? Okay, it's food for thought. And for those who are already doing it, kudos, wonderful. In conclusion, I'll say that it is not enough that we know, because many of us know we have attended, many of us know, we are well informed in all this, we are intellectually sound, we understand all these things. Maybe we have the will that, okay, I should start something. But please, there's a need for us to make the review and start putting things into action. Today is the best time to begin. Once we begin, it becomes a skill, it becomes a habit, and it's when it is a habit that, well, transformation begins. This transformation is what you call formation, that you give to the children. We form ourselves first, then we start. The children start assimilating, imbibing, and soaking it in as sponge. Then it is when we have that we can be sure that we are already passing values to the children, and of course we say we are passing on to them uh, something that is more enduring. We pass on to them a legacy, because strong marriages depend on strong families. Strong families build strong communities, and strong communities is what lead to strong societies. Thank you very much.
Wow. This is fantastic. Thank you so much, sir. This is mind blowing. Please, with different emojis, drop in our comments. Let's have your reactions for this quite on time presentation. Thank you so much, sir. You have reminded us once again that successful marriages are not built by accident, not at all. They are built by intentional love, daily sacrifice, effective communication, forgiveness, friendship, and of course, shared purpose. Thank you so much for generously sharing with us your wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I can see all the love emojis, claps. I'm also sure you can see that. So, right about now, we'll get into our most favorite part of the session, the question time. Of course, we get to share ideas. Of course, this time is not just for questions, but we also want to have comments, suggestions. Of course, there are some persons that could have different ideas. So we want to have your voice as this movement continues to grow bigger. So now it's time for us to ask or make our own contribution. You can actually raise up your hand or type in on the chat box. I'll be very happy to read. We have iPhone device raising up his or her hand. Please, could we have the person ask the question? Thank you so much to all the participants typing in how they feel and celebrating our facilitator. All right, you have the floor now.
He's off.
Okay, he's off. All right. So let's check. Do we have any other person who would like to ask a question, make a contribution towards this? Do we have anyone? Do we have any? Okay, so we have Saken
Okay.
Amafidebe. You have the floor now. Thank you. Saken, you can go on.
He's muted.
Can you unmute me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Emma, thank you for that presentation. I don't know whether I am audible enough. I'm actually driving home. I was listening all the way in my car.
We can hear you very well.
Okay, great. Yes, I have always said that the best place to teach your children, prepare them for marriage, is inside marriage. I.e., what do I mean? A son will learn how to be a father by what he learns, how to be a father and a husband by what he learns from his father. Same applies to the women. Your daughters will likely learn how to be mothers from what they see from their mother. Your son will learn how to treat his wife from how the father treats the wife. Again, same applies to the woman by how he treats the husband. And there lies my fear. Good example is beautiful. And that is, like I said, that is where I am afraid. Why am I afraid? Now, with all sense of humility, I want to say that, okay, in my
I'm no longer hearing him. I wouldn't know if I'm the only one.
I also stopped hearing him.
I think we've lost him. Okay, don't let me. I think he got muted again.
Okay.
So I'm unmuting him now.
All right.
Okay.
Is he back?
About to be back.
All right.
Okay. Then you can go ahead.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know where you stopped hearing me.
You were trying to raise your fears about.
Okay, great. So my fears are that I want to use myself as an example with all sense of humility. Where in my house, for instance, I have a service orientation where many times I try to play second fiddle. And then my daughter, when she was younger, commented to my neighbor, who was also a friend, that daddy always does what mommy wants. Daddy always does what mommy wants. They want to go out. Once mommy says no, it means no, because even when they approach me, I'm always going to align with my wife. Now, they come to expect that men are like that. They believe that or have this expectation that there are many men like their father. I have a feeling that that is not true. That, again, with all sense of humility, that I hope we are not raising, their expectations are not too high. I don't know whether you get it. So, because it bothers me because you are very pacific. You make the home like you are a sower of peace. You make the home cheerful, and then it's not available there. How do they cope? Because it's like it's an unreasonable expectation. Because what is there, you can't find it. So I want to know what do you think about it?
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Ken. Your concerns are genuine, and they are concerns of modern society. But the mission of this parent series, and of course many other good organizations that try to contribute to the betterment of society, uh, try as much as possible to empower parents to live out the best of their marriages. And with this, they are trying to contribute positively to society. Just as I challenged us this evening, a mission, we can go on mission, and that is try to form the best of children. Try to model your marriage to be the best that can be. You would have contributed something meaningful to society. You see, oftentimes there's recompense for whatever good actions we take. I'm sure you'll get repaid for your efforts. And if you try to model your family to be fine, and everybody strives to do that, definitely your children will find those that are like them in society, and you are sure of the next generation. Let us try as much as possible to do that. You are doing well already. Everyone here, if we try, I mean, how many are we? Okay, I can see up to 43. If everybody here takes it upon themselves to form good families, we are already doing a lot to society. And people who are involved in NAFAD and some other organizations who try to help people in playing out their roles as good couples, strengthening marriages, strengthening families. Of course, they are contributing a lot to society. And I tell you, if we continue to do that, we get the recompense. When the time comes for our children to get married, we get people who, I mean, they already have the criteria of what they want to see in good marriages, and they can make the proper choices. I think, Ken, I don't know if I try to allay your fear.
Okay, he's already muted.
But that is it.
Melvina.
Let us
Yes,
try
I'm here.
as much as possible,
Okay.
uh, the much we can, to try to model good families. In Be intentional with our marriages, and and supply such to society. And oftentimes, well, we'll be repaid for our good actions, because by that we would have laid out a very clear and good criteria for our children, and they will definitely choose the good ones that are out there, that mirror the same thing that they want in the people they want to marry.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that insightful feedback. We have another person who more of a suggestion. Hope that we can have these sessions for parents in schools. Of course, we can. We also have NAFAD that helps with that for different schools, like Q Range. So if you also have a school and you're interested in this, you can also reach out to us. We would support you for that. We have Sir Francis
Fantastic,
Mwadike.
fantastic,
Yes. We have
fantastic.
Sir Francis Mwadike. I think he wants to ask a question. Please, can we have him unmuted?
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I want to say that today is fine.
Please, can we hear him?
Yeah,
He's a bit low.
yeah.
All right. I said
Speak up, please.
I want to say that today's teaching is quite apt and germane for our society, especially where values, family, are gradually going down. Mine is just a simple question, which is this: at what point can you say that some father?
Please, can
Can
you
you hear
speak
me?
up?
I say,
Okay.
at what point can you say you are modeling a good and character talks to, especially your family. I don't know whether I get the question.
Your voice is a bit faint. Could you put your mouth closer to
You're
your
rather
speaker?
inaudible.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hello?
Okay. Yes.
It's a lot better.
Okay. I said mine is just a simple question. At what point can you say that you are actually modeling a good character to your children or to your family as well? That is my that is my question. Did you hear the
Sir, did
question?
you hear
Yes.
him?
Yes. I think I heard him. I heard him. At what
He
point
said that.
did you
Yes.
say you are modeling a good? Are you modeling good characters? You know,
Yes.
you know, in the children. Well, okay. Thank you very much. That's uh, okay. Firstly, of course, we know there are universal agreements to this in the first place. You know, kindness, kindness, affection, life of service. These are universal, you know, actions that we know. These are universal values that we know if we are trying to live them. We already are on the first plane of modeling good character. Then, when mommy and daddy decides that okay, be, for the good of our children, let us be intentional in living out these universal characters that everybody agrees. I mean, we know that kindness is okay, and we agree that okay. Now, I might not be able to influence my spouse as much. Let's not be mistaken about it. But since I want to get the best of outcomes in my children, I give more. This act of forgiving, gratitude when I'm served the food, okay, they said they warmed it earlier and is not as hot as I want it. I thank them for the much they have done. The children are saying that okay, it means that even the food is not hot. Instead of throwing tantrums, okay, I thank them, and even if I'm requesting that they reward it, okay, I thank them for what they have done already, and okay, maybe it would have been better if it could be hotter. Okay, fine. The child already knows that I've shown gratitude. Then mommy is the one that is supposed to do it, but nobody is around, and I'm free on a Tuesday morning. Nobody is around, and the dishes are there, and I do them. And when they come, hey, daddy, I have done the dishes. Hey, okay, did my own. The next day, instead of um, boy A saying, no, 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 daddy washed for me yesterday. No, no. The boy B just knows that when daddy washed for me yesterday, so I should be able to wash for my brother today. And by my actions already, I'm modeling the children to know that, I mean, the life of service is achievable because I've shown it already. It's not my duty, it is for them, but I wash the dishes before they return. So if they tell the other man, okay, do the laundry because your brother is studying for junior WAEC, I mean, I don't think he will protest. So daddy does it at times when we go to school. We would have washed the clothes and spread them on the lines before we come back. So already I'm modeling, I mean, the life of service, the life of gratitude, and everybody picks it up. It's caught, not taught, and it's ongoing. There's no point you say, "Oh, okay, we have done enough." It's ongoing as far as we remain in the family until they leave the nest. I hope I.
Definitely.
Yes. Yes, we got that very clear. So it's an ongoing journey. It never ends,
Never
except
end.
life is not there again. So we continue in that journey,
It's a continuous
modeling
formation.
Yes, continuous formation. Thank you so much, sir. We also have a beautiful comment on our chat box by Mrs. Chukudubem. Raising the standard is not bad at all. I believe our children should dream big on terms of making right choices as regards to marriage. They should be encouraged to go for what is right, even though the world feels like it's not possible. Yes, thank you so
Fantastic.
much. Yes,
Fantastic.
as long as
Well,
children can dream it, they can achieve
we
it.
we can argue that the world is turning over. I mean, over, things are happening. There's a lot of problems. The statistics are not favoring marriage, but everybody wants a stable marriage. The world over, everybody yearns for a stable marriage. Everybody still agrees that stable marriage is the foundation of society and the foundation for a stable future. So the statistics are stacked in favor of stable marriages. So it's worthwhile if we agree that we want to raise the bar. It's worthwhile.
Yes. Thank you so much. Do we have any other question, any other contribution for this conversation? Do we have any other one? Do we have? All right, so everyone appreciates today's conversation. I really like to, of course, remind us once again. I really love the part where he talked about the killers of the marriage. It is something that while the conversation is ongoing, I mean, we are reflecting, we are pondering over that, and we're picking them out. And the time to start is today, not tomorrow. I mean, it's half of the year, and it's a good time to have that review
The
as he
media
has
review.
already. Yes, a review. We do board meetings, but then we don't get to do that at home. So let's have that workshop, that review meeting. It mustn't be a big thing. And you see that it will go a long way. In fact, even children contributing towards the conversation makes it more wholesome. And so, dear parents, thank you so much for your time, but especially for our speaker who made out the time to actually invest in our different families through the conversation we're having this night. We are really happy and we thank you for staying committed to giving your family the very best. Thank you so much. Um, as we come to the end of tonight's session, which is our 30th edition or series, we are very happy to have you. And of course, we would like everyone here to follow us on our YouTube page on Parents First. Try to join on our WhatsApp platform. We have someone sending that already for us so that we can join. To be good that we're there for the people requesting for the recorded session would also have that. All right, I think sorry, we have another question. Maybe we
Okay.
can take that before we call it a day. I want to ask that sometime in the future we'll look into the topic gentle parenting. Okay, it's more of a feedback. Yes, thank you so much for that feedback. We also took feedback last session. We appreciate all the people who contributed towards that conversation. We've reviewed it and we're very happy and amazed at how far we have come and the different areas we also our parents want us to go into. So thank you. We have that in mind and would also have that in consideration. So as we leave tonight, it's important that we live with this thought that great families are not built in grand moments, right? They are built in ordinary moments of patience, of kindness, of respect, of forgiveness, and of course, intentional love. We really pray that from the conversation we have tonight, the decisions we are going to make, the actions we are going to make, that our marriages will begin to be places where love grows, where our children will feel secure, and where generations learn that healthy families um, are stronger, and they tend to build a better community and a better world. My name is Melvina Iwanugo, and on behalf of Parents First, we thank you so much. Keep loving, keep growing, stay safe. And remember, at Parents First, we continue to equip parents free of charge to be better and make the world a better place. Thank you and see you for the July seminar. Have a wonderful night rest.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.